Okay, what is going on, everybody? What is up? How you doing? What's up? Hopefully you're doing well. I am Darkside Phil, and I welcome you to my very first stream in a 6-day streak of live streams, 6 straight days full-time gameplay streaming for all of you. A great variety of stuff coming up this week, including ongoing new releases, the return of throwback style, late night chill streams. We've got retro games that have recently had re-releases that I'll be playing. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of fun to be had this week, and I hope that you guys are ready for said fun. Okay. So today is Wednesday, December 4th, 2019. I am Darkside Phil. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my first of 2 gameplay streams for the day. It is a full day of streaming today as well. We've got a lot to talk about today. We do. But before we get to that, FYI, today we are doing Life is Strange Life is Strange 2, not episode 2, but Life is Strange 2, the game's conclusion. That's right, this game still exists. A lot of people seem shocked by the fact that Life is Strange 2 still exists. You know, this is a game that started coming out. If you remember, there was a preview kind of episode for it at E3 2018 called Captain Spirit, and then the episode started releasing in the fall of last year, and it took over a year for them to release all 5 episodes, and today is the big conclusion. Alright, we get to see what happens, finally, with all the cringe-worthy stuff and writing that's been happening in this game. By far one of the most cringe-worthy games of 2019, and I'm excited to see how it ends. Although I'm sure we're not going to be satisfied. We may have a laugh riot here. I guess we're going to find out, okay? If you guys actually remember, last time around on Life is Strange, the little brother, I forget everyone's names by this point because the episodes are so far apart, but the little brother was recruited by a cult. That's right, a cult. And we had to free him from the cult and get him basically back on track to get the hell out of the country. Your mother came back into the picture, who apparently had been estranged from your family for years and years and abandoned you, came back to try to help out. And now finally, I guess you're en route to the border to try to get out of the United States since you're technically a fugitive from the law, or fugitives from the law, but we have no idea how that's going to go. You know, I'm sure it's not going to go as swimmingly as you would want, since it is a final episode, and you know these episodes have been roughly around 3 to 4 hours long, which is why we're doing this as a major gameplay stream. So I guess we'll see how this goes today. All right, hopefully hopefully at least, even if it's bad writing and it's cringeworthy, hopefully at least we have a good time relaxing together, enjoying the game for what it is, laughing at it, etc. Okay, that's kind of the approach I'm taking. Sadly, I have no hope that this game is going to be good or anywhere near as good as Life is Strange 1. There's no way in the final episode the whole thing can redeem itself. But let's enjoy it for what it is and let us finish it, okay? Truth of the matter is, most people have forgotten this game even exists. I saw absolutely nobody talking about it on social media at all in any of the, the stuff that I follow. I was like, wow, no one's talking about Life is Strange 2. This game is like deader than dead because it took them so long to release it. So, that's what the first stream is today, and later tonight, it's the return of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Battle Royale. That's right, I'm actually giving it a shot. Some Battle Royale stuff later tonight. Let's see how it goes. If you guys like it, because remember, when I play Battle Royale, it's more about me relaxing with you guys and hanging out and interacting than it is playing the game. So if we have a good time tonight and you guys like it, then I'll consider adding it to the rotation. If you guys don't like it and you're like, man, this is played out, this is boring, this is crappy, then we don't have to do it again. But I'm curious because we tried it once before all the new releases started hitting in October, and it was intriguing, and you guys were like kind of intrigued on, gee, how would it turn out if I kept doing it? And then it kind of, we didn't do it again because I was so busy with everything else. Okay? So we'll see how it goes tonight. All right? Tomorrow we return back to the major playthroughs that I've been working on recently. All right? So tomorrow, it's the continuation of Shenmue 3, my second session of Shenmue 3 ever. I only started playing it on Sunday. And the first session was entertaining, albeit very outdated gameplay with a lot of mini games and grinding and the like. But now we're going to be continuing on from that plot line. All right, so we shall see. We shall see how that goes tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, I am starting up one of the Disney games in the Disney collection that I purchased. It's either going to be The Lion King or Aladdin. I'm going to let you guys decide on stream what you want to see first, okay? So we'll see what you guys are interested in to start up that collection. Friday, I'm returning back to Pokemon Sword, which I'm very excited for because I've really enjoyed the playthrough. Very chill, very fun, lots of interaction, and lots of good stuff in that playthrough to be had. And then I will be doing some throwback Street Fighter on Friday night. Okay, so good variety, and the weekend will be more of the same, kind of continuing on with the ongoing playthroughs, etc. Also, I am considering this weekend. I put it into the rough schedule earlier in the week, but this weekend starting up with Medieval, the Medieval remaster. That is right, a game from back in the early 2000s for the PS1. It was an exceptionally good game. I played it back in the day and really enjoyed it. And they had a remaster that actually came out in October that I didn't get to play because I was so busy with other new releases. Okay, so what I would like to do is play it, and that's going to be starting this weekend at some point. I'm not exactly sure when. I put it into the schedule, but we'll see. How the weekend plays out. But that's cool too. So we're gonna have three ongoing playthroughs really. Shenmue, and Pokemon, and then we're gonna probably start up Medieval this week, plus the Disney game going on, balanced with all the chill stream stuff. Okay, so good stuff. So that's just the rough schedule for the week. I hope it sounds good to you. A few things. Number one, later on this week, probably this weekend, I'm gonna set up a subs goal for the month. The subs goal is that if we hit it this month on my Twitch channel here, we hit a certain amount of subscribers, I'm going to be doing the return of the Viewer's Choice event, where you guys will be nominating and voting on games for a full playthrough, all right? Whatever game wins this polling will become a full playthrough in the future. However, and a strong however, we have to hit the subs goal to do it, and I'm not setting up the goal yet because I'm actually a little bit apprehensive that we're going to lose a lot of subs in the next few days. Now, maybe we won't, but typically what happens is within the first week of the month, we dip a lot of subs, for whatever reason. And then we usually get some back and the like, but it's hard to gauge where you're going to be during a month just based on the initial sub numbers, okay? So what I would like to do, instead of rushing into it and saying, oh, we're going to do this amount of subs this month, and then all of a sudden I dip 20, 30, 40 subs, and now it's not viable to hit that number anymore. I want to wait till this weekend, and then this weekend I'm going to set up the actual sub goal for the month, okay? Fair enough? Also, there's a new thing that's happening right now on Twitch. I just want to make you guys aware. Subscribing to a channel or gifting subs to a channel right now is actually giving away emotes. Apparently there's Christmas-themed emotes that you earn or give away now when you subscribe to a channel. This is a brand new thing that they did for this month for the holiday. I didn't even know about it until this morning. Orcs or Dorks subscribed and it said, oh, he gifted 5 things to people in the stream chat. Like, what? Yeah, it's a new thing that they just instituted. So subbing not only gets you access to all of my emotes, including the handful of holiday-themed emotes that we currently have here on the stream that are really awesome, but in addition to that, it'll also get you, it'll also gift a bunch of emotes to people in the stream chat, all right? So it's like really awesome stuff going on right now for the month of December that I hope you guys will check out, okay? Fair enough, good stuff. Sound good to everybody? All right. Now, a couple of things I would like to talk about before we get to the gratuitous plug segment. First of all, just a reminder, a holiday event is coming. That is right, everyone. A holiday-themed event is coming. At the end of this month, I'm going to be doing a holiday marathon where I'll be playing a variety of games. I'll be dressing up festively. I'll be drinking probably some beer and maybe some eggnog. It's going to be a fun, festive time. Just, the weekend before Christmas to enjoy the holiday. All right, and just hang out with you guys and have a good time. It's not about serious gameplay. It's not about me taking stuff seriously or anything like that at all. And more the contrary, it's me just kind of messing around and having fun with you guys, okay? So that's going to be exciting. I'm excited for the holiday event. I hope you guys are too. But that being said, you got to nominate games for it. You have to nominate the games that I'll be playing during the Halloween event. The Halloween event. The holiday event is what I meant to say. Not the Halloween event. The holiday event. You can nominate right now by typing !marathon into the stream chat. It'll bring up a link to my forums where you can nominate games. The nominations for this event will end this weekend. Okay, so just for warning everyone, this is pretty much your last chance these next couple of days to nominate games for this event. After that, I'm going to tally up the number of games that were nominated. I'm going to formulate a voting list based off of what you guys nominated. Okay, a voting list. And then that voting list will be used for you to do a poll. All right, and you'll be polling all this month. It'll be fun. So good stuff coming up. I hope you guys are excited for that, okay? Now, another thing is a news story that I felt like I should talk about. During my day off, it seems like all hell broke loose on YouTube for all the wrong reasons. You know, pretty stupid shit happening on YouTube that's just very frustrating. So what happened? Well, Content ID reared its ugly head yet again in a really nasty, bad way that affected thousands of content creators across YouTube who play video games and make video game related content. All right. So here's what happened. Yesterday was my day off, as you guys know. I was out and about with my wife. We were doing all kinds of stuff that we needed to do, running errands, and we had to get some food for Jasper and, you know, seeing all the fun holiday stuff that's out there now during this time of year. In general, just having a really good day together. Okay. I checked my email during the day, and it says I have 500 emails. I said, something's up. Obviously, something's going on. I have 500 emails, huh? Really? Just curious what the hell this could be. So I start looking, and an insane amount of my gameplay videos are getting Content ID matched and claimed on YouTube. An insane amount. Normally, I'll say this. In a normal day, a normal average day, maybe I get a small handful of my videos claimed. Maybe a small handful. And what I mean by that is maybe 5 videos. Keep in mind, I've been making video content on YouTube since 2008. That's 11 straight years, okay? If you actually count the amount of videos, I think people have said at this point I have between 60 to 70,000 total videos on YouTube. You know, 11 years of my life dedicated to being a content creator. Probably one of the most, if not the most prolific gaming YouTuber there is, okay? So that's a lot of stuff that a lot of effort, a lot of time, and a lot of work that I've put into doing this, okay? And, you know, it shows, obviously, with the amount of stuff that's out there that I've put out. But that being said, every day, it's a very rare day when I actually don't get one of my videos Content ID claimed on YouTube. And it's usually for audio. It's almost always because, there's audio in these games that's licensed music. Whether it may be an actual song that has lyrics in it, or just a song that's a band played and they licensed it for use in the game, or whatever it may be. And sadly, over the years, even if during the time frame when a game is new, that song ends up being used in the game and it's fine, you don't get any issues, 5 years later, all of a sudden, the licensing agreement between the game company and that musician might run out, and then that musician loads their music into YouTube, and next thing you know, your game playthrough from 5 years ago is now apparently the legal property of a music company that holds the rights to the song that's in the video. It doesn't make any sense. I've talked about this many times over the years. Content ID doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work is because it assumes that the person who claims your video has full ownership of content in that video, despite the fact that it may be matching your video only because it has a certain portion of content in it. If there's a song in your video that constitutes 2% of your video, why does the company that owns rights to the song own 100% of the rights to your video? They don't. Legally, they don't. And YouTube doesn't have a leg to stand on here at all. Seriously, they don't. If they were ever taken to court for their Content ID system, they would lose 100%. There's no way you can argue in court that this is correct, all right? A judge would laugh you out of court. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? If anything, what would happen is thered be a situation where they'd have to hash out, okay, if, you know, you use a song in your video and that song is, licensed to someone else, maybe if they Content ID match your video, they get a percentage of the revenue. And actually, this is what's been happening recently on YouTube. is you'll get a content ID match. It'll say, don't worry, you still have ads running on your video, and you're still receiving a portion of the ad proceeds. So I've noticed that recently. I'd say in the past 6 months that it's been saying that a lot, instead of just saying, oh, you lost all rights to your video on YouTube because there's music in it. Instead, it'll say, oh, now you're sharing revenue with someone else. Okay? But anyway, the reason I'm giving you background about all this is because yesterday I get 500 emails while I'm out. Now, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't have time to sit here and delete 500 emails. I'm out with my wife today. So I just look at a few of them, and what it is, there's a company called Illustrated Sound. I think it's Illustrated Sound Design or something like that, okay? So what is this company? This company is an MCN, or basically a managed channel network. What it is one of those companies on YouTube that partners with a content creator and does things on your behalf and also claims a percentage of your ad revenue on your videos. So, for example, I used to be with Machinima. For the longest time, they were my MCN, okay? What did they do for me? Well, first of all, they provided me protection from copyright issues. I didn't get many copyright strikes or content ID issues when I was under the veil of Machinima, because being under them, that blanket kind of protected me from a lot of that frivolous nonsense, okay? In addition, they provided me with promotional opportunities. They provided me with the opportunity to go to E3 for free 1 year, and yada, 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 yada. I could go into a million things, but they basically, it was like, I give you some stuff, you give me ad revenue kind of a deal, okay? And so I stayed with them for many years. Then after them, I went to Curse, and then after Curse, I basically have not been with an MCN at all. And it's been like that for about 1.5 years where I have not had a partner network, okay? Why am I not with a partner network anymore? Well, I'll be honest with you, because there's no point to being with one. They actually changed the whole way that YouTube works, and now, regardless or not if you're in a partner network, you get the same advertisements as everybody else. It used to be that if you were partnered with one of these MCNs, you'd get better advertisements on your videos that made more money. So it made sense to be with an MCN. Even though that MCN took a cut of your money, you were making more money to begin with. So it was either like getting this for free or even making extra money because you're with this company. Now, there's actually zero benefit to being with an MCN unless one of these partnership companies offers you a special contract, okay, that will pay you more than the base ad revenue that's allowed on YouTube. All right? The only people who get those kind of contracts are giant YouTubers, people who have millions of subs, people who bring in hundreds of thousands of views a video. What happens is the MCNs actually compete to actually get their stuff. Okay? So that's the deal. Now, I don't have that contract, and most people don't have these contracts, meaning if you're with an MCN, you're basically an idiot. I hate to say that, but it's true. Like, there's no reason to be with them anymore. There's zero benefit, and all they're doing is taking your money away from you that you're earning on videos. But I don't talk about it because I'm not part of that process anymore. And I'm certainly not going to hate on anyone who's with an MCN, because for a while they were the way to go, and maybe people just still have this misconception of how they work, and they think that MCNs are a good thing or something, when in reality they're not anymore, okay? So anyway, I get 500 emails yesterday stating that an MCN called, God, what was it again? Now I already forgot. Something sound design, something with an I. Like, basically this company was claiming an insane amount of my gameplay videos. This wasn't like, oh, we're claiming 5 videos, we're claiming 20 videos. No, 500 videos, and it continued. It wasn't like, oh, here's the emails, and it stopped. I just kept going. Every hour on the hour, I was getting like another 30, 40 emails coming in stating that more and more of my gameplay videos were being content ID matched on YouTube. Now, for those who don't know how the system works, okay, content ID match works in a manner where if you own content, whether it's a video, whether it's a song, whatever it might be, you load that into YouTube's content ID database, and you say, anyone who matches this content, I own the legal rights to it, because this is mine and they stole it illegally from me, and I want to take that content back for myself and own it and advertise on it and make money on it, okay? The problem is, this doesn't work when it comes to gameplay videos, because as you guys know, we're all playing the same games. They have the same cutscenes in them. They have the same animations in them. If you try to content ID claim gameplay, you will almost 99% of the time end up claiming videos that aren't yours because everyone else has played the same games, okay? What I was noticing when I was looking at this situation, the videos that were getting claimed were not new games at all. In fact, I think the latest game in there that got claimed was like, I want to say a game from like 2-3 years ago. But everything seemed to be 5-6 years old. Like, we're talking my Alan Wake playthrough, my BioShock Infinite playthrough, Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance. We're talking things anywhere like 5 to 7 years old or older were the game playthroughs that were getting claimed in this. Oh, Alice Madness Returns. Okay? So it's pretty nuts that this is all happening. And I'm like, what gives here? This is like ludicrous. Obviously, no, this company, whoever the hell they are, they don't own the rights to my gameplay of these games. I don't care who this company is. This isn't like a music company coming up and saying, well, we own the rights to a certain song that was used in a game, and because you played that game and that song was played in your video, now we own that video. This was some company blatantly saying, we own all gameplay of said game, which is obviously erroneous, okay? So people looked into it. I didn't look into it. I was out doing stuff all day with my wife. People looked into it and come to find out, this is so stupid. So this company had partnered a YouTuber, all right? I guess it would be a Spanish language YouTuber, like he spoke Spanish, and all his gameplay videos were in Spanish. This YouTuber had a tiny channel. I'm not exaggerating. His Twitter account has like 200 followers. His videos on YouTube had like 300 views each. This is a YouTuber whose content is very old as well. This isn't even like stuff from now. This is like an old channel. So apparently this YouTuber partnered his channel, okay, with this MCN recently. And for some reason, the MCN took it upon themselves to erroneously claim any games this kid had played on his channel as his legal property and claimed ad revenue. Okay, now, this is the thing. It claimed everyone's videos. It's not just me. Everyone who had ever played these games on YouTube were getting content ID matched. We're talking YouTubers that are small. We're talking YouTubers that are big. The actual game designer, of Alice Madness Returns tweeted and said, I made the fucking game, and my own Let's Play of my own game just got content ID claimed by somebody else. Okay? Pretty funny. So obviously there's a problem here, right? Now I've been talking about how bad content ID is over the years. I've been telling you guys firsthand that I feel the entire process is illegal. It shouldn't exist because we can't trust YouTube's algorithms to do the right thing. Time and time again, we've seen examples where YouTube's algorithms suck ass. They don't work well. They don't claim the things they're meant to be claiming. And it's just issue after issue after issue with YouTube's content ID. So why on earth any company thinks that using content ID is a good idea is just beyond me. Like, we know the system doesn't work. We've seen thousands of errors. Thousands. Just earlier this year, Apex Legends released. And anyone who was playing the game and recording the intro when you drop from the dropship down to the planet was getting their gameplay video claimed on YouTube because of the 10-second audio clip of instrumental music that played when you dropped out of the dropship was getting claimed. You're telling me because 10 seconds of fucking music plays at the beginning of a drop that you now own my gameplay video of Apex Legends? Of course not. It's legally ludicrous. Okay? But we allow YouTube to fuck with us. We say we need YouTube because we need a forum and a place where we can post up our gameplay content for free. So we let them get away with this gross abuse of law. Every single day they get away with it. Every day that a video gets content ID matched, YouTube breaks the law. But we let them get away with it. Okay? This is just the latest case of a dumb fuck company taking advantage of the common YouTuber, all right, claiming things they don't own the rights to. And then the best part about all this was, so people got wind of what was going on, and they started mass tweeting and mass contacting this company saying, again, I forget what they were called. It starts with an I, something sound design or something like that. So they responded both in emails and on Twitter stating, "Oh, we're so sorry. This was not intentional. This was all a bug." Okay, a bug. So after all this happened, thousands of YouTubers being affected, having their videos claimed illegally, they had the audacity to claim it was a bug and not their fault. No. Again, we know how Content ID works. You have to actively load someone's content into the Content ID system and then enable that system to claim it. There's no bug involved. They're just idiots. They didn't understand how Content ID worked and just decided to fucking load it in, having no idea what the repercussions or what would happen if they did so. They just said, let's just do it. Just fucking do it. Let's make some money. Let's just do it. You know, they're morons, essentially. This company's completely unprofessional, a bunch of fucking idiots. And then they basically said, well, we don't want to take responsibility for it. Let's say it's a bug, instead of actually admitting that they fucked up. You know? So in reality, this is a horrible situation, okay? You know, no one should have their content stolen out from under them because of a broken, erroneous system and a company that's irresponsible and has no fucking idea what they're doing. Now, I'm going to be honest, guys. For me, it doesn't really affect me that much at all. Here's why. I have been a content creator for 11 years. I have 60 to 70,000 videos on YouTube. Just because 1,000 of those videos gets erroneously claimed by some asshole, it actually doesn't affect me that much. In addition, these are all old videos. It wasn't like, oh, Phil's playing new games and all his new gameplay videos are getting claimed and now he can't make money on new games. That wasn't the case. This is the case where it was just old stuff, okay? So for me, my interest in this situation was more of, man, this system is broken and fucked up, and I wish that, you know, that they would fix the system, more rather than, oh, you know, oh, this is really negatively affecting me now, and, you know, or anything like that. Honestly, I felt worse for the little guy, you know, the little guy who maybe they don't upload that much, maybe they only play at certain games, and now all their content's getting stolen from under them for no fucking reason, okay? So, it's not a huge problem for me. It's not. Just being honest. It's a drop in a bucket for me. But for everyone else, this could be a huge problem. So that's why I was kind of involved and I was tweeting about it, etc. So finally, this company comes out, whatever they are, ISD or whatever the hell their name is, and they said, okay, we apologize. This was all an error, okay? We didn't mean to do this, and therefore we're going to release all your claims within the next 24 to 48 hours. Sorry, everyone, for this screw-up or whatever, okay? I mean, that's great. Obviously, it's great that they admit it. However, like I said, they didn't take responsibility. Instead, they said, oh, it was a bug. No, it wasn't a bug. You just fucked up. You're an idiot. You don't know how Content ID works. You loaded everything in and you fucked everybody over. And now, after the fact, you got to try to fix it, okay? But in reality, the best part about this is, so I'm checking my emails this morning. There's another 1,000 emails in my inbox. I was like, what? Yeah, because now they're manually releasing all of these claims that they illegally and erroneously put against people's videos. Now I'm going to get another 1,000 emails saying that all the claims were released. So first it was 1,000 emails stating that the claims existed, and now it's 1,000 emails stating that the claims are being released. Good Lord. So anyway, that was the big controversy and chaos all over YouTube yesterday. Now, my ultimate take on the situation, and this is me being very upfront and honest with everybody, okay? YouTube should be sued. This system, this Content ID system, does not work. It's been proven time and time again that the system does not flag videos properly, especially when it comes to gameplay videos. It's completely erroneous. YouTube's algorithms are terrible. I don't care how smart they think their employees are. They think they're Ivy League educated people who come in and they hire them. It doesn't matter. They're terrible, all right? I've only been doing this for 11 fucking years, and I've noticed almost every time a video gets claimed, it's horseshit. Almost. Now, there are some times when I'll say legitimately, okay, there's a song in there or whatever, and even then I disagree. I don't think that they own the legal right to my whole video. But 9 times out of 10, when I get Content ID match, it's bullshit. It's the algorithm not working. If you have a process that doesn't work 9 times out of 10, 90% failure rate, you don't keep using the process. You know, Content ID is something that YouTube actively sells to companies and says, if you buy into being part of our Content ID program, your content will be safe on the internet. We'll make sure no one steals the rights to your content. In reality, they're lying. They have a broken, erroneous process. They're selling it to make profit. It's false. It's complete fraud is what it is. YouTube could be so sued on multiple levels. They could be sued for fraud. They could be sued for violation of copyright law. They could be sued for, just wrongful loss of revenue because of this erroneously broken system. Like, there's so many things. If there was ever a class action lawsuit put against YouTube for content ID, they would lose. There is no way in court you can argue that you can just blanket claim videos with zero evidence that you actually own that content and then start stealing ad revenue from. It's ludicrous. The whole thing is... The other thing is, this is the other part. This situation with this IDS company was actually a rarity because so many people were having their content claimed erroneously by this company that basically the company had to do a knee-jerk reaction and fix it on their own end, because if they didn't, they probably figured they were going to get sued, okay? But the truth of the matter is, YouTube usually doesn't do that. What usually happens is the burden of clearing up erroneous content ID claims is put upon the uploader themselves who originally uploaded the content, not the company that is claiming the video. So I just want you to think about this. In United States court system, the way our courts work is innocent until proven guilty, right? That's how it works. You are innocent until someone says you committed something, you did something wrong. With the content ID system, it says, oh, well, we just believe whoever says they own your shit no matter what. They start claiming your shit until you manually dispute every single claim you get, stating that these were erroneous or these are false. And then you have to give reasoning. You actually have to type out reasoning for every single situation, okay? Now, can you imagine with me, if this weren't the case where this company cared and realized that, man, we're going to look really shitty to the public if we don't clear this issue up because we screwed everything up. How am I supposed to manually dispute 1,000 false claims? 1,000. How was I supposed to do that? Do I have a staff of 100 people who can process 10 claims an hour? You know what I mean? Like, no. I'm a one-man army. I'm a guy who makes his own content on YouTube. This is ludicrous that YouTube puts this burden on the content creator to clear up an issue that someone else created. I didn't make this problem. They did. They fucked it up. If they're claiming that my content is theirs, they should have to prove it. Not just run it in a fucking broken algorithm and now they automatically now own my content. This is insanely wrong. All right? Again, in a court of law, this would never stand. The court of law would say, no, this is not how it goes. You have to prove something first, right? It's actually exactly the same thing with YouTube's broken copyright system. They can't do anything about your content unless someone proves that this is a copyright issue first. But YouTube regularly takes down content anyway without doing that, which is illegal. But no one sues YouTube. That's the thing. No one is going to sue them because we, as content creators, are not rich. We don't have the means to do so. And in addition, let's face it, we rely on YouTube to distribute our content. If I was not uploading my archive streams to YouTube, where else would I upload them? Twitch? Well, I could, but Twitch has no sorting procedures, no proper playlists for game playthroughs, and most people complain that Twitch video on demand takes up too much bandwidth, and that's why they want to watch me on YouTube to begin with, because they can't even watch that stuff on Twitch. That's why they can't even watch my my streams, right? So in reality, where else do you go? There really is, it's a problem. YouTube holds the monopoly on video sharing, and as long as they hold the monopoly, essentially content creators have to put up with this shit. What it's going to take is going to be someone who has a lot of money, maybe one of the biggest YouTubers, to say, man, you know what, on my body of work today, I have so many videos, so many videos that have been illegally claimed or whatever. I'm going to sue them in a class action lawsuit. I'm going to involve so many other people who have been negatively affected by this issue over the years, and we're going to sue the shit out of them. And we're going to win millions and millions of dollars because this is all ad revenue that should have gone to us, and they fucked us over because their system's broken. And YouTube would lose the case, and then YouTube would have to totally redesign their system. Of course, then you always run the risk that if YouTube keeps losing money in court cases, if you guys aren't aware, they just lost almost a $200 million case to the FTC, they won't exist anymore. So now you run the risk not only the risk that maybe you can't use the site anymore because they'll ban you because you sued them, but now also they might also go out of business. So there's a lot of reasons why you don't want to sue YouTube. It's just a bad situation where we're all stuck with these inadequate people who don't know how to do their jobs, don't know what they're doing, running the whole business, and it's always been like this. In my experience, 11 years on YouTube, it's just a comedy of errors over and over and over and over. and people tell them over and over what they're doing wrong. They ignore the issues. They don't solve the problems. It's not a good deal. It's not a good deal, but that's the reality of using YouTube. I will tell you guys this is this simple. I'm so happy I'm not a full-time YouTuber anymore. Such a great weight was lifted when I didn't have to worry every day that YouTube was going to fuck up somehow and ruin my livelihood. Because there were years where 3, 4, 5 times a year YouTube would screw something up, and I'd be like, that's it. I might not be able to make money anymore. Like, this is the end of it. I might, that's it. What am I going to do for a job now? Right? So the truth of the matter is that I don't think it's ever going to change. It would be a tremendous undertaking to actually get YouTube to change in a way that would benefit content creators. And I don't foresee it happening because, like I said, I think that they'd rather put up with the bullshit rather than say, well, now I can never use YouTube again because, YouTube basically said that I sued them and now I'm not allowed to use their site anymore or whatever. You see what I mean? They'd rather just keep uploading their stuff. So I understand that too, So I don't think anything's ever going to happen. Certainly no one like me could ever do anything about it. I'm not big enough. I have no clout, no money to do anything. All I can do is speak up when there's an issue like this and say, this is obviously horse shit and the system needs to change, but they're not going to change it, So there you go. That was a long story, but I felt I wanted to talk about that and get that off my chest here on the pre-stream because it was such a big thing. Everyone was talking about this on the internet yesterday because it was a giant thing with YouTube. Pretty interesting. Okay? All right, guys. So now let's move on. Let's move on to the second segment of my pre-stream, which is the gratuitous plugs. So if you didn't get the gist of it from what I just explained with this whole system, I'm no longer a full-time YouTuber. I'm a full-time streamer here on Twitch. And that means that the majority of money that I make is based on revenue that I make here via crowdfunding on Twitch, not on YouTube. Okay? And that's a great thing, trust me. It's a great thing to be able to just focus on the streams and not have to worry about all the nonsense of YouTube. But that being said, I really do rely on crowdfunding. You guys coming to the streams and contributing during the streams is how I pay my bills, how I afford the games, how I pay the internet and electricity, and how I make a living. So if you enjoy my gameplay streams 6 days a week full time that I put them out, if you like the fact that I still tough it out over there with YouTube, despite the fact that I still go through all these bullshit issues every day because of them, right? If you still enjoy all this and you want to see it continue, please consider contributing via one of the following methods that I'm about to outline. However, before I even get to a single method that you can contribute, there's something that I want to say. Contributions are greatly appreciated, but they're not mandatory. I just want you to know that. When you come to my streams, it's about hanging out and having fun, being chill, seeing my honest reactions to whatever game I'm playing that day, interacting with me, interacting with other people in the stream chat, and in general, just having a good time. That's what it's all about. It's not about money. It's not about this being a business. And even though, again, matter-of-factly, yeah, this is how I make my living. Absolutely. Absolutely, I rely on crowdfunding to keep this going. It's not mandatory that you contribute, and I don't want you to feel like that. But if you can, and you do, thank you so very much to those who do contribute. It is tremendously helpful. It really is. And now, let us go ahead and explain the ways that people can contribute. Good stuff? Okay. So first off, I have a Patreon over at patreon.com/darksidephil. And I would like to say thank you to anyone who pledged to my Patreon in the month of November. As of now, I have messaged all of you over on Patreon, FYI. So if you guys have not yet received a private message or whatever, that's not good, because I have messaged all of you to get your perks for the month. So please check your Patreon inboxes if you're a patron of mine for instructions on how to redeem your perks for the month. If you're interested in Patreon, you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can check it out for yourself. It outlines all the information on, pledge levels and what you get for each pledge level. Some cool perks include getting your questions asked for sure on my bi-monthly show, Ask the King, which is a Q&A show, or, getting premium forum access and getting exclusive nomination rights for certain events and stuff. So give it a look, okay? And thank you, everyone who is still, to this day, contributing via Patreon. I appreciate that very much. I have a Teespring store where I sell all kinds of fun merchandise. T-shirts particularly, but there's a lot of other stuff there. Hoodies and mugs and stickers and, sweatshirts. All kinds of stuff. FYI, with the holidays right around the corner. I mean, Christmas is, 3 weeks away? Holy shit, Christmas is 3 weeks away. I didn't even realize that Christmas is actually 3 weeks from today. It's a Wednesday this year, huh? Is it? Yeah. 3 weeks from today is Christmas. We're really getting down to the nitty gritty here of you guys being able to get something off of my Teespring and get it in time for Christmas. You know, the sooner you order, the better, because the sooner you order, the quicker it can ship and get there in time. So give it a look. That's at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. Thank you to anyone who buys anything from my Teespring. It's incredibly helpful. Helps me out, and you get a cool collectible out of it. So thanks for that, okay? Alrighty. Now, if you're here live on the stream, all right, more than likely, if you're going to contribute today, you're probably going to want to contribute via a way that's going to get you some recognition on my stream, right? You want to get a shout out. You want to get some visibility on the fact that you helped out. I get that. So if you either cheer with bits or you subscribe to the channel or you tip me today, I will give you a live shout out on the stream. It's a great way, again, to get interaction with me on the stream and also for me to say thank you to you, okay? Now, in addition to just the shout out, at the top of your screens, we have a Stream Stats leaderboard that tracks things like the top tipper and the top cheerer of the day. All right, so that's another way to get recognition. You get up there. Now, in addition to that, there's a third tracking system. This is a leaderboard that's integrated into the stream chat on Twitch. This one tracks top cheerers of the week as well as the top sub gifters of the week. And that's one that I also periodically check on and let you guys know what's going on, okay? So, awesome. 3 different ways for you to get recognition for your contributions, right? Being very matter of fact with all of you, right now, guys, if you want to help me out more than any other way, please tip me. Tipping me helps me out more for a very matter of fact reason. I get those funds right away, and I can put them towards things I need to put them towards immediately, okay? Other methods of contribution help out too, don't get me wrong, but those usually have a processing time behind them before I get any kind of a positive benefit whatsoever. But if you tip me, I get tips right now. I can use them to pay bills. I can use them to save up and pay taxes, pay my tax attorney for year end when he's going to file for me, and all this crap that's coming up. That support is better than the other methods right now just because of those reasons. So please consider tipping me if you can today. If not, that's fine. I'm certainly not going to live the gift horse in the mouth, and I'm happy of any and grateful of any contributions. Don't get me wrong, but please, if you can, tip me. And here's a few things about tipping you should know. How do you tip? Well, if you look below the stream, there's a tip jar button you can click on, or you can type exclamation point tip into the stream chat. Okay? Now, when you tip me, you don't need to have a PayPal account registered and linked to a bank account or anything like that. You can actually tip me with either a credit or debit card, much like any other purchase or transaction that you would make on the internet. Okay? However, please understand that sometimes those methods don't show up, especially if you're going to the PayPal tips page on, say, a mobile device like a phone. Sometimes it'll be like, oh, you got to log into PayPal or whatever. If you use a desktop computer, typically all the options will show up, including like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, blah, blah, blah. So if you're interested in tipping, but you don't have a PayPal account, you don't want to make one, give it a look on a desktop, okay? Now, in addition, guys, on top of that, I strongly recommend that if you're going to contribute to myself or any streamer, that you try to hide your real identity. Allow me to explain. Sadly, there's a group of people on the internet that are pretty much the lowest rung on the totem pole of human existence. They are the dregs of society, folks. What they try to do is they try to see people who are contributing on a stream or doing something positive for someone, and they try to turn it into a negative. They try to find your personal information. They try to dox you and expose who you are on the internet. Why? It's anyone's guess. It certainly doesn't negatively affect me at all. It's just really messed up that they do this to people, okay? They think, I guess they get their jollies off doing it, and they think that, aha, I have the power over someone because I found this information out, and it's pretty fucked up in reality. Like, normal people would not think that way, but these people are messed up in the head, and that's why they think that way, right? And we got to deal with these kind of people. So what I would say is if you're going to contribute, especially if you're going to tip, etc., I strongly recommend you do not use your real name or your real persona. Try to make up a fake name, right, when you're tipping, or you could just say anonymous. You actually don't have to say any name at all. You could just be completely anonymous as you tip, and that way no one will have any idea it's you. Last thing you want is you contribute to someone on a stream and they got people harassing you because of it, right? Okay. So moving on, guys. Now we move on to the rules segment of the stream. This is where I outline the rules of my stream so you guys understand them up front. The first rule is that I have to abide by all the rules of Twitch.tv. I have to, okay? It's a business. They have their own rule set. I have to abide by that. I can't just say and do whatever I want on the streams. That's fair enough, right? Now, in addition, I have my own code of conduct that I like to follow, and here's why. I like to maintain a certain chill vibe on my streams. I want it to be that when you come by one of my streams, you feel like you can avoid the stress and the drama of your real life. You're coming here to relax with me. You're coming here to have a good time, to see my honest reactions to whatever game I may be playing that day, and to maybe interact with me or interact with some stream chatters that day. And just in general, you know, forget about the crap of your everyday life. That's not what you want to be thinking about when you're on a gameplay stream, right? And that's why, in general, when we're on my streams here, there's a few topics that we try to avoid. The first is politics and or religion. Why? Well, first of all, it's a gameplay stream. Why are we bringing up politics or religion to begin with on a gameplay stream? I couldn't imagine why. Just being honest, I couldn't imagine why that would be a topic that people would want to discuss on something that's supposed to be a fun and relaxing gameplay stream. All right. In addition, I have found that these topics are things that, sadly, when people bring them up, if they disagree in particular, all of a sudden people get very nasty with each other. They can't agree to disagree. Instead, they want to get so heated over these topics that it's just not something that's worth being on my gameplay stream. I don't want my stream to become a hotbed of people just arguing with each other constantly because they can't agree on said topics. You see what I mean? So that's why I don't allow it. Now, the exception here would definitely be if the game I'm playing has those topics as part of the discussion. If the game has a topic about politics or about religion, then I'm going to allow it, obviously. Let's talk about it, especially there's some games this particular year that had that kind of as a running plot in the game, and that was fine that we talked about it then. But the example here is I don't want to be playing a game, all right, and turn back to my stream chat, and I see everyone here saying stuff like, oh, Brexit and Trump and impeachment and this and that and blah, 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 blah. This is not what the stream's about, you know? That's not the purpose. That's not why I'm here. You know, I'm not here to propagate these topics and to have this be a method of discussion on my stream. I feel that it's more derailing to my stream than anything else. And I'm not going to have it, okay? So please understand that. It's not allowed. Now, in addition to that, the one other thing that we don't talk about are people who on the internet are actively seeking to make me look bad. They steal my content on a daily basis. They do whatever they can to ridicule or defame me. Basically, they make it their purpose to make a living on my behalf. Okay? And you know, I understand these people exist. They illegally restream my streams every day without permission. It's a complete violation of copyright law. They make stuff up about me and make fun of myself and my family. You know, people who aren't even involved in my streams, they bring into their discussions to insult myself and my family. They make stuff up that doesn't exist, drama. They do this all on YouTube, by the way. Again, another issue with YouTube here, where YouTube actually promotes this kind of dramatic, disgusting content. They like it. YouTube says, oh, this brings viewers. And they actually promote that kind of disgusting, toxic video. You know, it's fucked up. You know, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like I said, I'm the little guy. I have no defense against this kind of crap. You know, I don't even know what to say. So, it is what it is. Please consider understanding and knowing that we don't talk about this kind of stuff. All right? Just so you know, if you bring up people who are stealing my content, if you bring up, oh, this person said something nasty about Phil, this person's doing this or that, you're going to get moderated because it's not allowed. Why? Well, it's very simple. If you do that, you're giving them the attention they want. By actually just bringing them up and explaining, you know, oh, this person's doing this, you immediately gave them attention that they don't deserve and that they're going to ride my coattails to make money, and that's messed up, okay? So please understand that's why it's not allowed. Our best philosophy here is just ignore them. We know they exist. We know they're not going to go away until YouTube gets rid of them, which they're never going to do. So just ride it out. We have a fun, positive stream together. We ignore the outside nonsense. Let them all do their toxic, disgusting, immoral shit outside of my streams, and we just have a good time together on my streams. Okay, guys? All right. Now, we get to the final segment of the pre-stream, the shout-outs, where I give shout-outs to those who've contributed. We start updating the leaderboard, etc. So first of all, I'd like to say special thanks to Golden Colts, who did a ridiculous amount of cheering over the time that I was off. And in fact, it propelled him pretty highly in the rankings here for the week. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? So thank you, Golden Colts, for all the cheering when I was not here. That is much appreciated. Okay. So first of all, the first contribution actually during today's live stream was from someone named Orcs or Dorks, who resubscribed for 29 months. It says, "Hi DSP, how's things?" Things are good. Thank you very much for asking. And FYI, I already talked about this earlier, but if you subscribe or resubscribe or gift subscriptions this month, however you subscribe, apparently you're going to be gifting holiday-themed emotes to people in the stream chat at the same time. So it's a way for you to get something cool, but also give something free to other people, which is really nice. So subscribing, a very good option this month, okay? So thank you, Orcs or Dorks, for the support. 29 months of support. Outstanding. Abdul Shaloub El Habibi resubscribed for 2 months and says, "Fuck the trolls." Thank you very much, Abdul, for the resub. But Chewy Chum tipped me $1 and said, "Hi, Phil. What's going on?" But Chewy, thank you for the $1 tip. I would put you up on the leaderboard, but someone already exceeded your tip, and I'm going to put them up in a moment. So no reason to do this twice. Slee did 130-bit cheer. That's the top cheer so far of the day. And he says, "I won't be watching as I'm actually going to play the entire game of Life is Strange 2 for myself shortly. I know it'll never be as good as the first one. Have a great stream." Yeah, indeed. Like, Life is Strange 2, probably one of the most disappointing games I've played in the last decade, because Life is Strange 1 was so surprisingly good. Like, I don't think anyone really expected much out of Life is Strange 1. It was a game published by Square Enix, but no one really knew who Don't Nod was at the time. And that's the game developer, by the way, who makes it. And when it came out, I remember even I was going to skip it. I wasn't even going to play it. I was going to completely skip this game. And then people recommended it. They said, "No, Phil, you should definitely check it out. It's going to be good." So I did. I checked it out. And I was like, wow, I am pleasantly surprised by how good this game is. And it ended up being one of my favorite games that year. Now, this was many years ago. Because of the originality, originalness, I was going to say. The originality of the story, the choices in the game that seem to lead to different outcomes, and the ongoing mystery aspect of the game, okay, with a big twist at the end and all of that, okay? I loved Life is Strange 1. Life is Strange 2 doesn't hold a candle. The story's nowhere near as good. It has really kind of whiny overtones of SJW issues and mistreatment of certain groups of people, and it's to the point where I understand that exists, and I agree that those are horrible issues, but the game is so ham-handed and heavy-handed with the way that it handles these situations. It's completely over-the-top, cartoonish, stereotypic bullshit. Then it doesn't help matters that right smack dab in the middle of the game, there's an entire episode where you're spending time with a bunch of pothead hipster losers in the woods who don't want to live in modern society. It's just like, it's just the most fringe, cringeworthy crap. It's so different from Life is Strange 1. It's so different. And you could tell different writers didn't understand what made the first game good, and this game stinks. But the truth of the matter is that today, with the conclusion, I'm just looking forward to seeing how it ends after the year and a half ride we've been through with this game, because it took them that long to finish it. What the hell exactly? How could this end? I can't imagine. We're going to find out today. Okay? Okay. Lucifer Soul tipped me $10. That is the top tip of the day, and I'll get you up there. He says, "YouTube is so stupid. I'm surprised you don't even get content ID claims for yourself when you do your retrospective events." Aha! Well, you see, Lucifer Soul, here's the thing, and this is what people don't understand about Content ID. Content ID is a system that you need to pay for. That is correct. It is an actual system that YouTube has in place that is something that makes them profit. Okay? Companies actively load their stuff into the Content ID system in the hopes that people will not steal their content and make money on them on YouTube. They're hoping that if people stole our content, we'll make money off of them. See what I mean? But I can't use Content ID. I would have to contact YouTube through business means and say, "Oh, I have a business that uploads so-and-so number of videos a day, and every day I want to not only load the videos to my channel, but I want to load them into your Content ID system, and I want you to run this algorithm to claim everyone who steals my content." They would then charge me money to do it. It's a paid service that generates them revenue. Okay? It's people have this misconception that if you just upload your video to YouTube, that immediately everyone else can get content ID claimed off your content. That's not true. It's a for-profit service that YouTube runs, and that's what makes it even worse. This would be one thing if YouTube was like, oh, we're doing this to protect the content creators. They're not. They're doing it to make money. And the fact that it doesn't work and it's so fucked up, just it adds fuel to the fire. Okay? So there you go. Revengeful tipped me $3 and says, Phil, if you raise money to help sue people who illegally restream you, would you file a lawsuit against them so they'll stop? Well, that's the only way I could ever make them stop. It would have to be like a cease and desist order from an actual, in a court of law. I don't know how. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if a judge would be involved or whatever. But I can tell you it would happen immediately because there's no way no one would grant it. The people who illegally restream me and or on a daily basis steal my content and then defame me in their videos saying shit that's not true. Immediately, if I had a defamation lawsuit against these people, they would have to legally stop. If they didn't, they could be, responsible for thousands upon thousands of dollars in damages, all kinds of stuff. All you got to do is look up defamation law. These people don't have a leg to stand on. It actually says in defamation law that, because I looked into all this, by the way, over the years, that if someone just says something about you as like a matter of fact, and it's intentionally meant to hurt you, meaning it's saying in a deriding manner that's not a fact, but it's actually meant to hurt you or your reputation or the reputation of your business. Like if someone comes out and says something that's actually false or not confirmed and they state it as fact and it's hurt you, immediately they've lost. That's suable in court and they'd owe you money. But I don't have the money to do it. I also don't have the means to do it. And what I mean by that is not only would this be an issue of money, but time. Okay? I don't have the time to go seek a lawyer out and spend time in meetings with lawyers explaining how YouTube works, explaining the legalities of all of this at all. I just don't. In addition to all of that on top of it, okay, we're talking a system that could take years. An actual lawsuit for defamation could take 2 to 3 years to process properly, and by the time it's all said and done, I might get nothing out of it. So, for example, I could sue now. It could take 2 to 3 years to ever go into effect to stop anybody, okay? In addition, at the end of the process, there could be a ruling that says, oh, this person now owes you money. But if the person has no money, I get nothing anyway. You see what I mean? So what's the point? There's really no point to any of it. Well, the truth of the matter is, it's YouTube that should identify that people are using their business for illegal purposes and should shut these people down. It shouldn't be the burden of the content creator to say someone is not only stealing my content illegally, but defaming me on a daily basis, and someone's using your business for it. Why do I have to now go out of the way to sue them to stop them? Your business is creating the illegal atmosphere. This would be like me saying that there's a marketplace, okay? There's an open marketplace somewhere. It's a building where people can come in and set up vendor shops and sell stuff, okay? And there's people who will sell arts and crafts, people who sell homemade goods, people who sell baked goods, food. But then there's one kiosk that sells drugs, okay? It's blatantly illegal. It's 100% illegal that they do this. They sell drugs. And the company that owns the building has been told numerous times that these people sell drugs illegally in their building, but they're like, oh, well, sue them directly to say that this is illegal, right? It would never stand. It would never stand. The cops would come in, arrest the people, shut it down, and then they would immediately contact the people who own the building and say, you're either going to jail or we're fining you a ridiculous amount of money because you were promoting illicit and illegal activities in your building. Okay? It's not allowed. But that's because, you want to know why? That's in real life brick and mortar physical stuff. Because we're still in the realm of the internet, this kind of protection doesn't exist. Right? It doesn't. It's a virtual place. So because we're in a virtual fucking land, no one will do anything about it unless you sue, which is ludicrous. In real life, if this happened, none of this would be happening for more than a few days, maybe. But because we're on the internet, I'm supposed to be some filthy rich motherfucker who has money to sue and time to do it. And then it takes 2 to 3 years to get a lawsuit to go through. And then, by the way, if the person who you're suing doesn't have money, you get nothing out of it anyway. So what's the fucking point? Okay? YouTube should do the work. YouTube should acknowledge that this stuff is illegal, should immediately shut it down and say you can't be on our site anymore because you're breaking the law every day. But they don't care. They actually, literally, if you look on YouTube, in their help section, it says if you have an issue with defamation, we'll do nothing. You must sue them directly. It says it right on there. We will not get involved. You must sue them directly. That's actually false. That's illegal. YouTube is responsible for any defamatory content uploaded to their site. They just haven't been sued for it yet. One day, if they get sued for it, they'll be fucked. Okay, then. Anyway, thank you very much for your $3 tip. I know that was a very elaborate answer, but I actually had an elaborate answer for it. Hogwash did a 50-bit cheer. He says, I played the first episode of Life is Strange. It seems like an LGBT-oriented game, not my cup of tea. I would say, if you're talking about this season, no. If you're talking about last season, like the first game, yes. There was some of the big overtones of the game, but I didn't mind it. I like variety in characters. I didn't really feel like it was overly shoved down your throat that much either in the first game. Like, yes, the characters were very much, in the LGBT plotline, but I didn't feel like it was overbearing. This Life is Strange 2, the constantly being told that these people are Hispanic and they're mistreated by everyone else in the country because they're Hispanic, it's just like overabundantly shoved down your throat to the point, all right, I get it. We didn't have to have people bully them in the desert and make him sing fucking songs because he's Hispanic. This is fucking stupid. Honest Fan cheered. He says, I think December in 2020 is going to be your year. Also, that YouTube crap is going on is total BS. DSP 2020. Thank you very much, Honest Fan. Vincent cheered. He says, hope you had a good day off. Recently on Disney Plus, I watched The Muppets Christmas Carol and The Santa Claus. Very good movies. I agree. Kat and I watched... What did we watch? We watched The Polar Express the other night. Yes, The Polar Express. We're going to see tonight if we feel like watching Christmas stuff too. Last night we didn't. Last night we just kind of relaxed after being out all day. We just kind of sat around and relaxed and played with Jasper and did some fun stuff that we didn't watch anything. But let's see here. All right, New Face of Creation tipped me $1 trying to get unbanned. Sadly, that is not how you get unbanned. You need to contact me via email and talk to me about it. So you wasted your time. Tetsu Rican resubscribed for 3 months. Says 3 months already. I thought it was 2, but Phil, it's been a while. Also, hi chat. What's going on, Tetsu? How's it going? Thank you for the ongoing support. Mr. Tipper 1 did a 50-bit cheer. He says, I do agree it's bullshit for what happened, but content ID isn't illegal as you say. The one you should get angry with is the people who exploit it, and no, YouTube won't lose in court. Anyone who thinks that is a buffoon. A big channel tried to sue YouTube and it failed. At least the problem is over. The big channel you're talking about was the channel that was about Zombie Go Boom. The issue there was that they felt that the demonetization process on YouTube was faulty. They said, why did our entire channel get demonetized with no evidence? And that got thrown out of court. Completely different issue. Had nothing whatsoever to do with content ID. You indeed, sir, are wrong. But I thank you for the 50-bit cheer regardless. Hitting his back did a 100-bit cheer. He says, you said last time you were on the radio back in the day with some guy named Triforce. All right. I don't know what's going on. I guess the latest thing that's going on in these dumb fuck detractor circles is that they oh my god, a podcast from 2000 something. It's like we're talking like 13 years ago or longer. Has surfaced where Phil was really mean to someone on a podcast. Look, he's a horrible person. It's like, wait a minute. First of all, you're talking about something that was 13 years ago. That was before I was ever on YouTube. All right? Before I ever did a single video. That was when I was actually a major part of the fighting game community. All right? I was actually known as a kind of one of the figureheads of the East Coast in the fighting game community. Okay? It was definitely a different situation. Than I am now. I was a different person. I have, over the years, repeatedly admitted to all of you that in my past life, which is how I consider it because I'm such a different person living a different life now, I was an asshole. I drank too much. I was depressed. I had all these issues, and I would do stupid, fucked up stuff. I said repeatedly how bad I was in that fighting game community where I was just a complete dickhead to certain people. And it caused problems. It caused, a lot of drama. And then as I grew up and I matured, I realized I don't want to be part of that anymore. It's stupid that what I did was dumb and that it was just really dumb shit that I did. Now, the other day, someone already brought this up. I was like, man, I particularly can't really remember what happened on any podcast. I just remember I made fun of this guy for like an hour or two because he legally changed his name to be Triforce, okay? Which I thought was such a dumb, ludicrous thing. Now, I didn't just pick on this guy because I picked on him. I picked on him because everyone hated him because he was the leader of a gaming clan back then called Empire Arcadia. And this was before the release of Street Fighter 4. This was actually before all of that. So being in fighting games back then was not lucrative at all. There was no sponsorships or anything you could get. Basically, what this guy would do, he would recruit people to his team, and he would take cuts. He would actually take cuts of winnings and stuff that they won at tournaments to say, oh, I'll arrange to do services for you, PR services, and I don't know if he like booked the travel arrangements for these people or whatever, but essentially, people were coming out and saying this guy was a scam artist, that he would promise the world, and then he really wouldn't come through on his promises. But these kids were just young and ignorant. They didn't know better. So here was a guy who was an adult who they're trusting to basically do these things for them. And people were coming out saying, no, this guy is kind of a scummy guy, and, you know, he's taking money and not really fulfilling his promises and stuff. So everyone hated this fucking guy. He was, like, well known to be a guy that was controversial in the fighting game community, and most people did not like him. He wasn't a fighting game player. He only was involved for money. That was his only involvement in the community, okay? So no one liked him. And I, on this podcast, apparently ripped him a new asshole. Now, I don't remember exactly what I said. I'll be honest with you guys. I said this the other day, too. I was drunk. I know for a fact I was always drunk. Whenever I went on those fighting game podcasts, I'd be drinking rum and coke and just talking shit constantly. And they loved it. They wanted me back on for it. They wanted me back on the show because I would just do this. Nothing that I said back then is kind of representative of any kind of truth. I probably was just talking out of my ass constantly. And like I've already publicly admitted, that is something that I used to do that I was wrong, in the wrong. I say I was definitely wrong, stupid. I was young and immature, dumb. You know, you're talking when I was in my early to mid 20s versus now I'm in my late 30s. A little bit different perspective, and, you know, time changes. And I already even publicly said I apologize to Triforce if I did anything that hurt him or, you know, basically made him look bad during those podcasts, because I don't even know what I said. I have no clue. I don't even know. I don't know where the guy is. Where he exists, what he does now, I have no idea, because I don't think Empire Arcadia exists anymore. I have no idea. All right, I have no contact with the guy whatsoever. So that's all I have to say about that. It's stupid. And again, this is it's a slow day. There's nothing controversial going on with DSP that we fabricated today. Let's find something from 13 plus years ago and act like this happened today and it's pertinent. It's not. And if you even bring it up, you're a fucking complete and utter nitwit asshole. So there you go. Snorlax tipped me $1 and says, if you're looking to float plane, they're a YouTube alternative. They're created by Luke from Linus Tech Tips. And they have a bunch of creators on there currently. Worth looking into. Float plane. I wish they had a better name. I would love to have an alternative to YouTube, but that doesn't sound very appealing. I don't know. This is the first I've ever heard of them. All right, I'll have to keep that in mind. If things keep getting worse and worse on YouTube, I might have to look for an alternative. So, thank you for the $1 tip, Snorlax. Let's see here. I got a $2 troll tip. We're just going to ignore that. Excuse me. Oops. That is not correct. Okay, there we go. An anonymous dollar tipper says, does your playlist feature on thekingof8.com where you can watch every playthrough you've ever done get restored? I tried it recently with no luck. Nah, that hasn't worked for a long time, dude. That's not our fault. That was a feature that I absolutely loved having on the site because that allowed people to find my content without using YouTube. And guess what? YouTube shut it down. What happened is YouTube used to have these feeds. These feeds that would go out of data so that you could have, just like we did, we would have a playlist or a website that would have your own content embedded in it. So it could be housed on YouTube, but you could use your own website to feature your content. Guess what? YouTube shut it down about 2 years ago, I think it was. They just shut the whole thing down. Didn't tell anyone they were doing it. They just said, oh, fuck that. And they just turned the feeds off. So now no one can do it anymore. So that's why it doesn't work anymore. And it never will. There's no way we can make it work. We looked into it. There's no alternative. They just said, fuck that. We want everyone coming to our site. They turned it off. They're assholes. Alfred Aponte tipped me $1 and said, hope you're good, man. Thanks for streaming for us. You are welcome. Then I got another dollar troll tip. So there you go. I'm just going to ignore that one. But I'm going to add $2 to total tips to the total here. Let's see here. An anonymous dollar tipper said, remind me how to nominate games for Viewer's Choice. So I have to go to your forums. You can't nominate games for Viewer's Choice. The event hasn't even started yet. It's a goal-based event based off of subs here on the channel, and I haven't even set the event up yet, so don't worry. You're getting way ahead of yourself. Let's see here. Another dollar troll tip. Here you go. Ignore that stupidity. X-Venom Symbiote, resub for 2 months in a row, 19 months total. He says, Phil, are you excited for Cyberpunk 2077 in April? Will you check out Cyberpunk multiplayer? Let me put it this way. CD Projekt Red, a very good game developer. Okay? Witcher 3, definitely one of the best games of our previous, console generation here. Pretty awesome. I'm not going to shit talk them at all. However, of the stuff that I've seen, Cyberpunk, quite frankly, I haven't been too impressed. The previews and things that they keep showing are of like, it's this gritty, futuristic world where everyone is fucking vile and everyone's constantly fucking dropping F-bombs and involved with guns and drugs and just fucking stupid shit like that. I'm like, okay, but like, is the entire game just gonna be like immature shit? Like, it almost feels to me like they turned their game into Grand Theft Auto in the future. You know what I mean? And listen, Grand Theft Auto has a place in gaming, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from the game. Now, I'm sure there's gonna be RPG elements and everything in it, but like, Witcher wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Like, Witcher was a good fantasy game. Yes, did it have adult-oriented themes? Absolutely. But it also had fantasy themes, it had political themes, it had all these interesting stuff going on. It seems to me, this game's GTA. Like, that's kind of almost how I'm getting this feeling. I could be wrong. Maybe the game will be completely different, but the trailers and things they've shown, that's like what you get 95% of it. Like, that trailer they showed at E3, I could barely get through. Fuck this, fuck that, F. Jesus Christ, is this written for a fucking, a 14-year-old where you think you're going to sell the game because you're dropping F-bombs? And normal people don't say fuckity, fuck, and swear like a sailor. Like, now everyone's the angry video game nerd. Okay? So I hope that's not what the game's going to be. I hope it's good. I guess we'll find out. Okay? All right. Concerned fans hit me $1, said they don't like my commentary anymore. Sorry to hear that. All right, thanks for the input, and sorry to see you go. Thank you for the $1 tip. I'm not even going to respond negatively. That's your prerogative to say that you don't like me anymore. That's fine. Actually, most people say that today I'm better than I ever was, but that's fine. You can move on. Shell Con Artist tipped me $5. Says, Phil, how's it going? I spent your day off marathoning your Death Stranding playthrough 12 hours. Great story, but I don't think I could play through the grind fast. I completely 100% agree with you, Shao Kahn Artist. As I said many times during that playthrough, if it weren't for the live interactive audience who suffered with me during the boring parts of that game, I probably would have given the game up. I doubt that would have been a game that I would have played single player by myself. I loved live streaming it for people so we could experience it together, but doing that as a game playthrough for myself offline, I probably would have been bored to tears and quit. Just being honest. Thank you for the $5 tip and the support. Let's see here. Big Papa Phil just subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Big Papa Phil. I appreciate that. Then I got a $1 tip that's completely fucked up and really disgusting. Wow. Gee, thanks. This person is actually, I would say this person is probably mentally fucked for how nasty what they just said to me is. So I'm just going to ignore it. Okay. Hogwash cheered and said, I am glad you have finally embraced the memes to make them positive. Will you do the same for the ack, and goat laugh memes? It seems to be harmless and just pokes at you for fun. I don't think the goat laugh meme is harmful at all. I said people can say I laugh like a goat. I don't give a shit. Ack, I think is stupid because I don't sound like that when I laugh. Listen, all right, here's how I laugh. Or ha 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 ha. Or ack. Doesn't sound like that at all. That's just something a fucking lame brain idiot made up. If you want to say I sound like a goat, okay, fair enough. I'll take that. That's a funny meme. But ack isn't even like factually correct. It's just fucking stupid, made by a fucking moron. So that's why I don't like ack. Being honest, you want to make a meme about me? At least make it semi-intelligent and realistic and pertinent to stuff that's going on. Okay, dumb shits. All right, there you go. Oh, let's see here. Wario tipped me $1. Let's see here. He says, his name is Wario2255, and he says, I love your stuff. Will you try out Devil May Cry 2 in the future? It's the black sheep of the series. It's easy and funny to play. They replaced the director of the game during the last 5 months to fix the game because it was such a mess. I've heard most people who like Devil May Cry hate Devil May Cry 2. That the game apparently was a development mess from the get-go. That when it came out, it was incredibly unsatisfying, and basically a lot of people write it off as not even canon in the series. They say just play 1 and then play 3. Now, I own the Devil May Cry HD collection, and I only played 1 and 3 because everyone told me don't play 2. So if you guys ever wanted to see me go back and play 2, I own the digital rights to it. All right. So there you go. 2 Bar King did 100-bit cheer. Thank you very much, 2 Bar King. Good to see ya. Lego Pig 1976 did 100-bit cheer. He says, "You think Henry Cavill's a good choice to play Geralt in the Witcher Netflix series?" I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it. Like, every picture I've seen, I think doesn't look good. I don't know if the series is going to be good at all. And I'm not going to have Netflix by the time it comes out anyway. So I really don't care. Richard, to me, $3.93. What on earth? This has to be a meme, but I'll read it regardless. He says, "What was the most interesting meal you've had? I had this slab of raw meat, bloody, with selected cheese on top and cracked egg in it." What the fuck are you talking about? That's weird. The most interesting meal I've ever had. Oh, man. That's a tough question. I mean, I've had $200 steaks before. That's not exaggeration. When I was making insane YouTube money for like a year there, and I went to Chicago, I took John Rambo and our friend Grog out to a steak restaurant, and we each had $200 steaks. That was pretty insane. I've never had meat that tasted that way before, and I never probably will have it again because I can't afford that shit. And I would say this one time I went to a Thai restaurant, okay? And normally, I'll be honest, I wouldn't get like a fish dish. If I were to get fish, it would be like shrimp or some kind of a normal fish. I got a whole fish, and I can't remember what it was. I don't know if it was tilapia or whatever, but a whole fish, scales on, all right? And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, wow. I start eating it. Dude, that shit was good. It basically, they cooked it so well that the whole thing just came right apart. You know how you get like a rotisserie chicken or slow-cooked ribs? How the meat will just come right off when you touch it? The fish was exactly the same. You touch it, it just went zoop, and you ate it. It was like smooth and buttery, but it was full of seasoning and flavor. And I was like, this is something that like visually, this looks terrible, okay? A fish on my plate with scales and everything. But when you start eating it, you're like, holy shit, I can't believe how good this is. That was probably one of the weirdest things I've ever eaten. Now, in other parts of the world, this is what they eat all the time, and it's normal. But for me, that was the first time I ever ate a fish like that. I was blown away by how good it was. Okay? Philly Buckeye Charity says, "This is one of the cringiest, worst-written story-based games I've ever seen, and I'm excited to see you play it." Good. Like I said, I think it's about 3 to 3.5 hours every episode, so we'll definitely have enough time to finish this today. Okay? Alright, so last thing I'd like to do before we begin is give shout-outs to the top cheerers of the week and the top sub-gifters of the week, and then also, my nose is bothering me. I'm going to try to refresh this. Also, I just want to update the sub count, and then we're going to get started. So let me refresh my chat here to make sure that all the data is correct. Okay, here we go. So, shout out to the top cheerers of the week. A tie for 9th place between K. Diaz and Philly Buckeye. PW Dubs is in 8th. Learning Disability is in 7th. There's a tie for 5th place between Lone Warrior and Cashmere Go at 5th. 2 Bar King is at 4th. Golden Colts is in 3rd. And then we actually have a tie for 1st place between Falconborn Plays and Accio Artorius. So congratulations to all of you guys. Okay? And this week we had 2 subs gifted. One by Frenolith and one by Philly Buckeye. Now, I don't know if any other subs were gifted, but that's all it shows on the leaderboard. And I have to understand the leaderboard sometimes is completely wrong. Okay? But definitely thank you to those who contributed via that method. And as for sub count, we're at 654 subs, which means that we actually lost subs. Do you see why I did not want to set up the sub goal yet? See? Because who knows where it's going to be by the weekend. So that's why I didn't set it up yet. Probably around this weekend is when I'll set up the sub goal. Okay, guys? All right. Long pre-stream for sure. We had a lot to talk about. Let's now end said pre-stream. All right. And let us begin with the conclusion of Life is Strange 2. Let's see what the hell they have in store for us. One final thing, as I mentioned earlier, please, the best way to help me today is by tipping me. I need the support, especially now as we're getting towards the end of the year. I'm going to need more and more. So please consider tipping me today if you can and you like the content. I appreciate that very much. All right. Ending the pre-stream, starting with Life is Strange 2. Here we go.